Hi. All right. I am live and good evening. It's Sandy Shellis. I'm just trying to find a good place to stick this modem. Okay. Good evening. Uh, this wasn't planned. Something bugging me, and I want to talk about this topic, and it's been bothering me for a while. I got this mailing, and the mailing is from our local landfill, and they are having an open house. I'm on I do local activism and local things, and I'm with this group, and we are talking about keeping radioactivity out of landfills, uh, radioactive fracking waste, all that stuff out of the landfills where we live, because it's really easy to bring it from Pennsylvania. But they made a claim on the farm that the landfill gas that they burn is renewable. And it really bugs me because nothing sits right with me about this. So I'm going to go with a couple of articles and information I got. And any of you that join me, that happen to join me, that understand this, that might be able to help me understand this better, it would be cool. I'm going to start with this. It's from Energy Justice Net. Landfill gas to energy, toxic and bad for the climate, not green or renewable. All right, it's when is this from? I think it was a few years ago. And they talk about landfill gas is not the same thing as natural gas or methane. They are three separate terms which mean different things. They should not be used interchangeably. The term landfill methane is deceiving, as it's usually used to imply that landfill gas is simply methane. Methane is a hydrocarbon gas, CH4. It's a greenhouse gas and it is explosive. It's generated by decomposition in landfills, from swamps, in the stomachs of cows, etc. Now, natural gas is approximately 80 to 99% methane, with the remainder being mostly other hydrocarbons, ethane, propane, butane, etc., as well as some nitrogen, oxygen, water, CO2, sulfur, and various contaminants. Landfill gas is about 40 to 60% methane, while the remainder being mostly carbon dioxide, CO2. It also contains varying amounts of nitrogen, oxygen, water vapor, sulfur, and hundreds of other contaminants, most of which are known as non-methane organic compounds, or NMOCs. Inorganic contaminants like mercury are also known to be present in landfill gas. Sometimes even radioactive contaminants such as tritium, which is radioactive hydrogen, can be found in the gases. So they go on to talk about this, and it says, isn't it cleaner to burn landfill gas to make energy than to just flare it? All right, so there's a question. And they even talk about some of the limited data from the uh, EPA, and I do have some EPA stuff to talk about with this. They talk about dioxin emissions. Now, this article, it doesn't have the date, but other dates of some of the articles were like 2013. So this might be older, because some of their stuff is landfills and global warming, and then dangers of corporate landfill gas to energy schemes and how to fix it. Sierra Club report on landfill gas to energy, but these are 10 years old. I don't know what might have changed. I'm looking. The meeting with the thing I'm going to is on Thursday at the landfill, and hopefully I feel all right, because man, today was a tough day, but life goes on, right? All right. Hey, Buddy joined. Hi, Buddy. So I don't know if you know anything about this, but I'm doing this. They talk about isn't it cleaner to burn it? So burning landfill gas is dirtier than burning natural gas, this Energy Justice says. Now, that's a little different from what I read on the EPA. Whether using an internal combustion engine or gas turbine, burning landfill gas to produce energy emits more pollution per kilowatt hour than natural gas does. So, why is it that natural gas, a non renewable resource which is not considered green energy, burns cleaner than landfill gas, yet energy from landfill gas gets away with being considered renewable green power? It just sounds like a bunch of crap corporate bullshit to me to lie to people in our community and communities all over. But the landfill gas is there anyway, usually being flared, so why not use it to make energy? That's a classic case of asking the wrong question. It's a very different thing to ask, what is the best way to manage landfill gas, than to ask, how should we produce green renewable energy? Green energy marketers aren't in the business of managing landfill gas. The if the question is how to wait, okay, nothing that emits dioxins should be considered green or renewable energy. Green or renewable resources shouldn't produce pollution in the process of making energy. Anything that has environmentally damaging emissions you can measure per kilowatt is not deserving of subsidies or preferential pricing afforded to green power, which we know since this article came out is probably going to go. So, what do you do with it? And they said the default options to do nothing, but that leads to gas migration offsite and can cause explosions. The release of methane creates some global warming problems, and the release of toxic contaminants can cause cancer and other health problems in local communities. So, regardless what's ultimately done, the gas should be filtered so that the halogenated compounds are segregated. Once filtered out, these compounds should not be combusted. So, the general options for dealing with landfill gas once collected are flare it, boiler makes heat, internal combustion engine makes electricity, gas turbine makes electricity, fuel cell makes electricity, convert methane to methyl alcohol, or clean it up to pipe it to other industries or into natural gas lines. None of them I like. And then they go through flares, boilers, gas turbines, fuel cells, conversion to methanol or dry ice, cleaning up gas to pipeline quality, and how can we cut down? And then they talk about the global warming politics of landfill gas. And lightning rods here. Let me put up your comment for a second. He says if you look forward, landfills are very profitable as gas plants, but the paperwork involved is beyond extreme. Well, I'm going to learn. I'm going to see what they say on Thursday. I'm very interested because it's not far from where I live, and so they talk about this the politics, and here they talk. The promoters of the landfill gas combustion consistently point to the fact that methane is a potent greenhouse gas. This gets used as a reason to burn it to produce energy, and to have that energy considered green. Often ignored is that most landfills which have gas collection systems are burning that gas in one form or another anyway. Green energy should not be used as an excuse to move from flares to internal combustion engines or gas turbines. So that's a helpful article. And then they say, why is there such a push for landfill gas to be considered renewable? Landfill gas and other biomass, right? Biomass gas technologies, incineration technologies, are cheaper to develop than wind, which is the next cheapest renewable technology. Energy from landfill gas projects also provides the easiest to obtain new renewable, built since the inception of green energy marketing, for a green RE certification process. It is because of this that we don't expect to see as much development of truly clean renewables from green energy marketing as we expect to see development of polluting landfill gas and biomass technologies. So I think that this is older, but it was really helpful, wasn't it, in this one? Because if you go to the U.S. Energy Information Administration and you look this up, they are talking about the different kinds using biogas from sewage and industrial wastewater, uh, collecting and using it from landfills. Landfills for municipal solid waste are a source of biogas. See, they call it biogas to make it sound appealing, right? I think it's just a mind for the people. Biogas is produced naturally by anaerobic bacteria in municipal solid waste landfills and is called landfill gas. Landfill gas with a high methane content can be dangerous to people and the environment because methane's flammable. It's a strong greenhouse gas. So, in the United States, regulations under the Clean Air Act require municipal solid waste landfills of a certain size to install and operate landfill gas collection and control system. Some landfills reduce landfill gas emissions by capturing and burning or flaring the landfill gas. Burning the methane in landfill gas produces CO2, but CO2 is not as strong a greenhouse gas as methane. So many landfills collect the gas, treat it to remove CO2, water vapor, and hydrogen sulfide, and then sell the methane. Some landfills use the methane gas to generate electricity. So this is where I have my problem, you know? I guess this is exactly where I have my problem. They call it biomass, and then they have this whole thing on the government's websites, and it seems to me like it's like just a bunch of crap. I don't know what you guys know. I don't know how many people are with us. Let me see. Not that many, because I didn't even plan this or anything. It's really been bugging me. The NRDC had a thing on it. They have an executive summary. It was 82 pages. Of course, I'm not going to go into 82 pages, but their summary was uh, long reviled by the environmental community as sources of air and water pollution have in recent years benefited from numerous subsidies associated with alternative fuels and renewable power. So I see the problem. It's just a way. I mean, we have landfills everywhere, right? And we have this gas, and we're going to be sold a bill of goods about it. It sounds like to me. I think they say United States generated 231 million tons of municipal solid waste in 2000, 55% of which ended up in the country's 2,000 landfills. Now, this is using older data, obviously. But they say landfill gas is a threat to human health and global warming. Flaring or utilizing it for energy greatly reduces its climate change impact. Okay, burning the LFG also serves to mitigate its public health impact by destroying the majority of hazardous air pollutants in landfill gas through the combustion process. So this is where I'm confused. CB says, okay, thought it was a good idea when it started in Charleston. This is what I don't know. I'm trying to get this one thing says it's terrible, and then the NRDC is talking about that it's not so terrible. They're saying LFG combustion produces minute quantities of dioxins, that it's an extremely toxic group of chemicals that are harmful, even in very small amounts. So I really don't know what they're saying. This paper examines the concerns as quantitatively. Many of the claims of both LFGE proponents and critics are highly dependent on how broad a view one takes, both in terms of how much of the existing infrastructure one examines and how far into the future one is willing to look. God. So, key findings: combustion of raw LFG in a flare, an engine, or a turbine dramatically reduces overall toxicity. Collection and combustion dramatically reduces global warming impacts and toxicity. Using LFG to generate electricity further reduces greenhouse gas impacts and also reduces emission of nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, and mercury. By displacing the demand for electricity from traditional power plants, the LFGE projects further reduce these important pollutants. Burying garbage in landfills results in release of more heat trapping gases than any other waste management option. So the best way, the NRDC says, is to combat it is to use it, burn it. I don't know. I mean, it says avoid LFG by avoiding landfills and recycling. So you recycle the paper. Burn all the LFG that's produced. Even if we would close all the landfills today, they would continue to produce LFG for years to come. Combusting an engine, a turbine, or simply a flare has tremendous benefits in reduced toxicity and reduced greenhouse gases. Let's burn it because it's better. So there's subsidies for these things. And I love the way they call them green pricing. I can't buy it. I really have a hard time with this, but I'll have to read this whole thing. It's 82 pages. And Power Magazine in 2007, burning landfill gas has environmental and economic benefits. But then there was another one in 2016, which landfills have a huge greenhouse gas problem. Here's what we can do about it. I bet they're talking about burning it. God, I don't like burning anything. So what do you guys think? I, if you had the option, and these people are talking about it, in 2016, this article was talking about capture and use. The EPA has required landfill operators, some of those with larger ones, to control the methane emissions by installing these gas collection systems. And they put vertical wells into the waste and use vacuum pressure to suck up the gas. And they're burning it. 3/4 of these projects in the United States burn methane to just generate electricity. And the EPA, well, there's a lot of stuff on this. The EPA really is pretty pro up. Let's see if I could find the EPA. Actually, New York State. Oh, and then there was one actually that showed you the gas system. I don't have any slides up today, but here it shows you how it does it. Can you see? I'm just interested in this because it's near me. It's one of the things that we study in our group, and we are an advocacy group for our community. And I really need to understand this before I go. So this article from beginwiththebin.org talks about imagining a future where communities are powered by the trash they throw away. That future is here. Through innovation and leadership from members of the National Waste and Recycling Association and others associated with the solid waste industry, our waste can now be tapped as a source of renewable and sustainable energy. This happens primarily through two technologies: landfill gas to energy projects and waste to energy facilities. I don't think I don't want to read anymore. They're talking about as landfill waste decomposes, it produces methane. So obviously they're twisting renewable there. They're going to use what in the public mind is, or they have, as what we think is clean, and it's not. More than 75% of the gas is available to use as green energy. It can be used to generate electricity, blah, 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 blah. I've read it all before. And this one says that this is actually better. The EPA estimates that using methane as renewable energy instead of oil and gas has the annual environmental and energy benefits equivalent to the greenhouse gas emissions for more than 33 million passenger cars, or eliminating carbon dioxide emissions from 11.6 billion gallons of gasoline consumed, or sequestering carbon from over 22.1 million acres of pine forests. Boy. So what do you guys think? Because honestly, I can't read anymore. And I want to look at the comments. I mean, this really, really bugs me. I just feel like it's such a bunch of crap to call it renewable. Because why? It renews itself because of rotting garbage, but it's still burning and it's still emitting, right? Okay. Foss, how are you? You said there's far too much waste to capture methane all over the world, and good luck on getting everyone on board. And there's a ton of other chemical pollutants that destroy the ecosystems around us. Well, okay, so consume less says might as well turn a problem into a solution. See, that's why I'm here because I want to understand, am I reacting purely like on emotion because I just don't like it? Uh let's see, Lightning Rod had said it's renewable and sustainable as long as we continue to waste everything. So, all right. And again, consume less says better to use the gas we are producing than mining for more fracking. Absolutely. Absolutely, we're completely anti fracking. So, I suppose then on the positive side, if there's a positive side of this, then we have landfills. We create garbage. That's obviously not going to stop an industrialized society. So if we use the methane and burn it through these processes, it's a better option. We'll find out when I go. Scott. Scott says, as a process engineering geek, I found the systems to retrieve and use the gas fascinating. Biodegradation can change in its making for flow balancing fun with all the dials and valves and stuff. That's cool. All right, so basically we know that the fracked wells, missing pieces, frack wells are causing spikes in rare cancers among those who live close to them. Yes, fracking's horrible. We hate fracking. So I'm getting from you guys that maybe my gut reaction, and I should open my mind, right? From all the things I read, it's better to burn the waste gas than to let it go in the sky. Obviously, that's what we read. Methane is garbage gas. Raw methane is bad to the sky. It's the lesser of evils. You can convert the methane to CO2 and make power. This is really helpful. It's really helpful. And I'm, oh, well, consume less unless it can be captured and stored forever, which we know, probably can't. Uh, I'm really happy for tonight. Thank you. Methane is better burned than let free to air. So, with a little bit of reading articles and asking you guys who are knowledgeable on a lot of this stuff has helped. So, I think I'm going to go Thursday and I'm going to be a better a better listener. And possibly I won't be feeling as combative because now I understand a little bit better, right? That's what the purpose of this was for. I'm tired, but I really, really, really wanted to do this. So let's see. Which is far less. Okay, so if we turn it to methane and burn it, it will become CO2, which is far less warming than methane. And we already have enough methane, right, coming out of the permafrost. Nicholas is going to be on with me. We're hoping for Sunday night to talk about his latest piece and what's going on. Zox, hi Zox. I don't produce any. Whoop. No, I just put my screen. Okay, I don't produce any exudate. I wear a still suit that recycles my wastes so I can drink and eat them. Yummy. Okay. Okay. And CB, buddy, you said it's really better than just filling a landfill and covering it. I didn't know all this. I mean, we have been talking about the fracking waste that's being brought in from Pennsylvania. We have been talking about a lot of different things. So this whole methane thing, and really got me. Hey, Chris. Hi, Sandy. I'm here listening. Just stop by to get gas. You want some methane, Chris? I wasn't going to do this tonight, but I couldn't stop thinking about this. And I knew if I came on YouTube and read some of the stuff, talked about how I felt, and asked you guys, right? So, and everybody's saying this, they have to vent the methane one way or another, or the landfill will explode. Yeah, I did read about that. And um, hi, Gazer. He says some places have used manure methane since the 50s. So, what is this? Like maybe phosphorus is he's more on where I was thinking. Burning that methane only produces more CO2. The problem never goes away. We're still burning carbon. We're still burning carbon. I guess my question was how it could be called green and renewable, and it kind of is telling people that, gee, there's nothing to worry about. And that's where my issue was, all of this stuff has something to worry about, right? Oh, my girlfriend here. Hey, Still Sweet is from Frank Herbert's masterpiece, Dune, post-apocalypse. I had a feeling it was something I just didn't remember. I don't know everything. Shurahana, you may. Okay, so fracking, lightning rod says fracking, I think, is a cover for disposing of toxic waste. All right, let's see here. Foss, and I appreciate all this because that's why I'm putting your comments up. Methane cannot be renewable if we have an exponential amount that we do not capture and leads faster to warming anyway. And where's the tech and who's paying for it? So all these are good things. All these are good. Okay, light a fart. Then it does not fill the room. Why did I think somebody was going to come up with that one? I thought that's good. You guys are funny. Yeah, you know, consume less. And that's the whole thing is consume less so we don't have so much crap in the landfills. Until we have a way to heat everyone and feed them with low emissions, our levels will not fall, right? So here you go. I don't know how long I've been on. Half an hour. That's good. I got my answers. You guys gave me some food for thought that I completely wasn't prepared for. So thanks. Thanks. Anybody else got anything else to offer in the chat? I thought this was really great. Educational. I hope that anybody else that watches this, it's an interesting topic, especially since we probably all live somewhere near a landfill. I know we've got 3 that are in our district. I guess we call it our congressional district, maybe even more. Let's see. Zoc says, if people uh, switch from meat to beans, the methane produced by humans farting will offset the benefits. So might as well eat meat. You guys are hilarious. Okay. Well, listen, guys. Consume Less says thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad I did it. I'm actually have to thank you. Thank you. Good night, Chris. I'm going to give her the last little thing. We had a lot of fun last night on Chris's channel. It was really a lot of fun. Okay, guys. Mama will let you go. Good night. Peace and thank you really super a lot for this.